Yo, what's good, everyone? Hope you had a great weekend. Hope your week's going well so far. It's a Wednesday, so yeah, dropping a video a little bit later. But just had a busy weekend, really. Bank holiday here, so but yeah, just honestly didn't have time to get around to it. But yeah, nevertheless, straight into this week's one. So this week, I'm actually going to be covering something that's super important when it comes down to trading in general, and even more so when you're kind of doing intraday or even scalping. So it's understanding time and price. So what are the key? I would say there's like three key factors that you really need to have an understanding of when it comes to time and price in the market. So yeah, gonna jump into these, and hopefully it's valuable for some of you guys that are especially new and understanding and trying to understand why does price move in a certain way during certain times of the day, and kind of what does that mean. All right, cool. So first thing, point number one, then that's super important is, well, first of all, like, what am I talking about? What do you mean by time, right? What do you mean by time? So when I say time, I mean our sessions, our trading sessions. So the day is split up into three key sessions, right? We have our Asia session, London session, and New York session. Okay, keep things nice and simple. Your Asia session starts at midnight UK time, and ends about 5 a.m. Okay, so midnight to 5 a.m. Then you've got your London session that starts at 8 a.m. Okay, so your London session starts at about 8 a.m. And I would say the key timing from this is, say, from probably around 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. So London session is longer, but this is kind of the key times of the day, and I'm going to explain a little bit why that is. Okay, so London starts at 8. You do have Frankfurt open, which starts a little bit earlier at 7. So it's always good to be on the charts around 6 a.m. GMT, so you can kind of see what happens as we go into Frankfurt. How's price moving? Okay. And then you have your New York session. Okay, New York session starts around 1 p.m. in the afternoon, UK time. So again, really important to write these down and understand what these sessions are, and I'll explain a little bit about what they mean. But yeah, New York session, the key kind of trading window that I like to look at is between, say, 1 p.m. UK time to around 4 p.m. Okay, so that 3 hour window is sort of my key time of the day to be trading New York. Obviously, you can trade longer, you can trade outside of that, that's fine. But with intraday, with scalping, this is where the moves are a lot more probable, I believe, from my testing. And I'll explain a little bit about that. So that's the first point. First point is, what are these times? What am I on about? Asia, London, New York. And I've just listed out the timings for that. So make sure you write those down, and you kind of include that within your, within your analysis when you're doing your charts. All right. So that's point number one. Point number two is, like, why is this important, right? Why does this matter? Well, the main thing is the volume. The volume of the volume of money that's being traded within these windows is a lot higher than outside of that. The reason why is because these are the times that the large institutions are open, right? So your banks, your hedge funds, these guys are in the office, and this is when the trading day starts for them. This is when those markets open. So, for example, if you're trading euro against USD, yeah, you're trading a European currency, obviously, for euro against American currency, USD. So the biggest players and the key and the highest volume that's going to be traded for this particular pair is going to be during London and during New York. During Asia, there are still going to obviously be price movements and things happening, but predominantly price just tends to consolidate, and the volume's a lot lower. And you'll know this, and I'll kind of show you a couple of examples of what I mean. Okay, but say, for example, you are trading USD JPY, so Japanese yen against USD. Obviously, the Japanese yen being an Asian currency, you will tend to get probably still not as much, because there is still higher volume during London and New York, but predominantly the most of those moves are going to be within New York. Okay, and then you may still see bigger price ranges during that Asia session as well. So yeah, just something to bear in mind. That is the main reason why this is important, and why you tend to see your higher probability plays happen during these times is purely because the volume is a lot higher. Okay, so bit of an advice: look at what pairs it is that you're trading. Understand what session is going to be more volatile. So even if you think of gold, gold USD. So gold USD, yes, it moves during London, doesn't really do much during Asia. New York, when it hits that New York open at 1 p.m. GMT, you tend to just see price go on a mad one, right? Sometimes, so not every day. So yeah, so we just covered time and price. What do I mean? What are the 3 sessions? What are the timings? And then, you know, why is this important? Why do we have these sessions? Why are we taking notice and marking out when these sessions start, when these sessions end? And that is due to the high volume. So if you have areas of interest that you're looking to enter on, you know, if it's coming into that point of interest during that London Open at 8 a.m. or 7:30, you know, between 7 and 8, that's tend to when the market kicks in, institutions kick in, and you start to see these big reactions, big moves. So again, it's just like another confluence that's definitely worth adding to your list. Okay, and it happens, and I'm going to show you some examples. There was I think one yesterday or one on Monday, and there was 2 big ones last week that I caught one of them, but not the other one. So yeah. And the third important thing to understand and know about these sessions is that these sessions create liquidity. Okay, I did a video on liquidity a long time ago. I think it was like my 2nd or 3rd video, so go back and have a look if you're not too sure what liquidity is. But basically these sessions, as they're ranging, specifically Asia session, because we know there's a lot of consolidation, a lot of buy sell stops above and below the Asia session. This is where, you know, price likes to come, manipulate, take out the high of the Asian session, so the highest point of that session. Normally as well, you'd see equal highs during this time because price just consolidates and moves sideways, and then we'll tap into an order block that's sitting above or below that, and then that's when we'll see that reaction, and that's where we can nick these kind of 1 to 5s, 1 to 6, 1 to 10 sometimes if you're really refining it. So yeah, it happens all the time. It's just something not every day, but yeah, something that you need to obviously bear in mind. So yeah, time and price, what is it, what are the 3 sessions, covered those. Why is it important? Volume, high volume during these times. And the third one is liquidity. These sessions generate liquidity, so taking out the highs and the lows of the sessions, you tend to sometimes see a reaction. Okay, specifically with Asia, and I'm going to show you some examples now, okay, of this. So I'm just going to jump onto the charts. Let's see. Trading view. There we go. Cool. You can see my chart here. Okay. What are we looking at? So we're just looking at the 5 minute time frame right now. Okay, and I have an indicator actually that I tend to use just to highlight my session ranges. Okay, I'll tell you what it's called. It's just called Asian session range. Where is it? It's on here, this top one here. So feel free to write it down, take a screenshot. But it's basically called FXN Asian session range day separator, something like that. All right, so our Asia range here is in blue. Okay, so we can see we've created some our higher of the ranges here. Okay, and we have our low of the range here. Okay, so first thing I sort of do when I come into the chart is, okay, I'll mark out my Asia range and see where we are. Okay, and I'm not just saying go and highlight any candle that sits above or below a range. That's not what I'm saying. You still need to understand, where are we in the market? Are we bearish? Are we bullish? What price leg, what price range are we in? Are we in a premium of a 15 minute? Are we in a premium of a 5 minute, etc., etc.? Okay. Right now we had created this this range here, okay, from this high to this low. We were sort of floating around a premium of this I think it's a 15 minute. It's a bit clearer on yeah, of this 15 minute price range. So what I did is I marked out my price range, have a look, see where we are, go back to the 5. Okay, cool. So we're in our Asia range. We get to 7 a.m., which is here. But like what I said, let me zoom in a bit more. We get to 7 a.m. So this is 7 a.m. As we get into 7 a.m., we have that push down, and then that big rally up. Okay, as we're rallying up, what's happening? We get to, we take out the low, taking liquidity. We come to the high of our Asia range. What's above our Asia range here? So we have this within this premium of this 15-minute leg. What do we have in terms of order blocks? We have this first order block here, so this 5-minute up candle before this move down, which broke structure. We do have some above, but again, we just trade what we see. We focus on this first one first. So essentially, if you look at the time we even came into this order block, 5 to 8. 8 a.m. is right here. So, you know, it happens all the time. So we could have had our stop here, and I don't know if I took this one, to be fair. Probably stops there just above the body. What would we be targeting? So our first target would probably have been the low, which would have been pretty much a 1 to 5. But I'm just trying to show you that, you know, how often this does happen. So we have this consolidation during Asia. Can you see here? Price doesn't really move too much. You know, during the Asia range, what have we ranged? 18 pips. Okay. London here is our green range. You can just about see it. What do we range here? 90 pips. And then we kind of kicked into New York. You can't really see my New York, but yeah, because the screen. But there's the first example. Okay, tap into there. Point of interest. Bang on. See what I mean about time and price. Bang on London Open. What happens? We make that break, that move around, and we come and we absolutely sink. So a 1 to 10 by the time New York opened would have been super clean. All right. We're going out to the next day. So now we're on the next day. Okay, cool. So understanding where we are in terms of this range. So we've made a new lower low. Okay, lower highs, lower lows. Looking at this range here. Okay, so we're on our new day. We have our Asia range. So here's our Asia range in blue. I'll just mark out the highs. So we had this wick here as our high, this wick here as our low. All right, what happens? I'm not going to do the replay tool, but above this range, I've already marked it here. Let me delete this. We have this 5-minute order block, right? So we have our order block. Again, I've done a video on this. We also have IPA, which is our imbalance. So we have 2 confirmations there already. We're in a premium of this leg, okay? And let's see what happens. So price during Frankfurt. Where's Frankfurt? Let's do this here. 7 a.m. So that blue line I've just marked there is 7 a.m. What happens at 7 a.m.? Bang on Frankfurt open. We've taken the Asia highs. Okay, we've induced some sellers. We've tapped exactly into this candle. Okay, so if I mark this out, you could have had your sell there, your sell limit. And then a first target is you could have just targeted the Asia lows, right? Because you normally come take the highs and take the lows. Or if you were really patient and you were kind of a confirmation based trader on like the 1 minute, you could have watched price come up back up into this. So I actually took this one here, this order block, I believe, last week. Entry zone. Yeah, so I took this on the 1 minute, I think it was. Oh, it's gonna do that, isn't it? You go back. Cool. So where are we? Back here. Yeah. Cool. So this was we tapped into that point of interest. I was looking at this one right here, so I'm pretty sure this was the trade that I took. Here, stops above this high, I think it was. Yeah, it was about there, I think. So stops above that high. And then yeah, I think I just targeted here, and I think I closed at like a 1 to 5. So yeah. So I hope that's a bit clear, and you can see. So this is 2 examples, right? I think there was one yesterday as well that I marked. This is today. Is there any more? I think this was one, actually. Wow. We have our Asia high here. Where's 5 a.m.? So Monday, my indicator messes up for some reason, but if I just mark this, okay. So we have this POI here. No, that's not it. My bad. It's actually this one. Yeah. So there's our candle, right? Our POI above Asia. I'm not going to mark out Asia, but you can see Asia's here is in blue, right? This is on the 4th of July, so last week or whenever. We come into 7 a.m. What time do we tap into this? 6:45, 7 a.m. You know, you can't make this up, man. It happens so much. We take liquidity. Our liquidity is the Asia highs. Take that. come into London Open and look at this volume of the London Open, man. I missed this trade. I was fucking fuming. But yeah, all right. So just a couple of examples. I hope that's clear. I won't break this down anymore. Oh God, I just pressed a load of buttons then. But yeah, hope that's clear. Time and price. What do we mean? 3 sessions. The times I've gone over. And why is it important? High volume and liquidity. Real simple play there is that Asia play where we come and take the Asia highs, tap into a point of interest, and then move in our preferred direction. Like I said, doesn't play out all the time, but there in the space of what, 2 weeks, there was 3 examples, and I'm sure there would have been another one. So 3 there that I think definitely went and did, 1 to 10. It's 30%. You're not going to hold it for 30%, but if you're doing 1 to 5s, that's 15% in 2 weeks. Happy day. So yeah, I hope that was helpful to some people. And yeah, I kind of just showed a couple of trade ideas there that were happening, or that I took. I caught one of them last week. But yeah, thanks so much for listening. Please, like, subscribe, drop a comment if you have any questions. Really helpful. But yeah, really enjoy sort of making these kind of content. Yeah, man, I will catch you all next week. Actually, I'm away next week, so I might not do a video next week. I'm going to be in the UK for a month, so I'll see how we get on. But yeah, man, God bless. Thank you so much. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your week.